Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Just another day here in South Alabama. Having a pretty gray day again. Had two in a row. Haven't seen the sun in a while. So I was realizing the other day, I forget I was doing a photo or I was looking at a video or something. Man, I'm pale as a vampire. I need to get back to some vitamin D. I just feel like something ain't quite working, pulling it all together without that vitamin D, but I'll charge up soon enough. Anyhow, today I wanted to talk about the raw food diet and healing. Is there only one path to healing? I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button now, and then click on the little bell and check those send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I don't talk about the whole healing thing very much because that's kind of a buzzword. A lot of times when healing pops up in conversation, so much of the time it's kind of woo-woo and out there that I'm just like, okay, well, that's just not practical stuff for me. I just don't like that way of approaching it. But I did want to share what kind of my thoughts on this today, because people are constantly asking me about specifics, healing specific things. I should always go back and point out that I'm a perfectly healthy person, no matter the abuse that I did to myself throughout the years. I came into this lifestyle relatively unscathed, and I seem to be in good health. Now, all the wheels may fall off at any day, and then I got to start doing some of the stuff and worrying about healing this and fixing that and blah, blah, blah. But so far, I've been fairly healthy. So I've just mostly worked on maintaining a clean version of this plant-based lifestyle, of a raw food lifestyle, this past 5.5 years. So when people reach out to me with very specific issues, whether it has to do with Lyme, autoimmune, gut disorders, Crohn, ulcerative colitis, things of this nature, I tend to kind of step back a little bit because I always want to be responsible. I don't want to, try to project myself as being some sort of an expert or knowing things that I don't know. Now I do have thoughts, and every once in a while when things come up, I do kind of play this little game like, okay, if I was in that situation, how would I handle it? That's all I can say like that. And most of the time I go back to just the simplest answers, the simplest methods, the simplest ways. I think our body is a remarkable machine, and I think our body has remarkable healing and cleansing capabilities to it. And my philosophy from the beginning of this lifestyle has always been, it's more about getting out of the way, getting out of our body's way and letting it have the energy that it needs to do what it needs to do, whether it be healing or whatever. Rather than these specific things like, okay, you have this issue, you need to take this, you need to make this smoothie, you need to eat this, you need to include this, this is a part of it. In other words, I think it's like, I don't know, I won't say percentages necessarily, but I think the majority is what we're leaving out as opposed to what we're putting in. I found this. I had to ask a good friend for this. I'd had it for a while and never could put my hands on it. I've got one of these. This is the Pyramid to Health. Not your old school pyramid that we used to get taught in school, which was abysmal. But this pretty much kind of sums up what I think I would do if I had these various health issues. And once again, this is not a recommendation. This is kind of just like my approach, how I would probably start researching it. I would probably make mistakes. I would probably find things that I needed to adjust, but this would just be my process. And I'll say this, everybody's body's different and people's bodies react to things differently, but as a species, I don't think we're as different. We don't have that much individuality between everybody's bodies as we're always trying to say. I know that's kind of just a good thing to say, oh, everybody's different and everybody reacts differently, but really, do we react all that differently? I don't know of any other species out there that do. I mean, they're pretty much similar in their reactions to what they eat, their environment and whatever. So we're animals. So I would kind of imagine the same, but I do know that there are certain people and that have allergies. There are certain people that have intolerances in their body that are a little bit beyond the norm. So your mileage may vary, and I'm not saying everybody can use the same method and of just simplicity, but basically this just makes it the healing thing is about this, in my opinion. It's about directing as much energy towards the goal, the healing, the area of your body or the whatever you're trying to heal. It's kind of like you've got a laser. You don't want that laser dispersed too big. You want it like focused right on that. So as we reduce things, as we reduce the body's as we get lighter, I kind of like to just say it like that. That's probably not the proper way to say it, but as we get lighter with what we're eating, less energy is going towards our digestion, more energy going towards that healing. That's why this pyramid works its way on up the way it does. Now they start way down at the bottom, and on the bottom rung, which I'm hoping most people are starting a couple of rungs up. On the very bottom rung is remove all processed packaged foods and oils and alcohol. Interesting that that's the first one to go. And then remove dairy, sugars, eggs, and grains. Then remove all animal products, 100% plant diet. Now that's where I'm always kind of like saying, let's get to that. Let's get to that one, and then that's our starting point, or at least from the things that I talk about and kind of my philosophy on this. Remove all animal products, 100% plant-based diet. So let's just say for discussion purposes, that's the bottom of the healing pyramid. I mean, if you've got some serious health disorder, that's the very least you can do, is just at least go plant-based, go vegan. And then you just kind of keep moving up, and as you move up and as you know a little bit more about this lifestyle, you see there's less energy needed to digest as you move up this pyramid. Okay, now you're on at the bottom of the list, or at the bottom of our, what I'm calling, is 100% plant-based. The next one up is, they suggest introduce more raw foods, smoothies, juices, and germinated nuts, seeds, and sprouts. Then you move on up the pyramid. Remove all vinegars, spices, coffee, cacao, seasonings, and supplements. Okay, now that's interesting. There's one more up. They haven't gone all raw yet. The next one up from that is remove all cooked foods, 100% raw, through increasing plant carbohydrates. So far, so good. I'm kind of agreeing with pretty much the progression here. So at this point, you would be 100% raw. Other than that, you're not, necessarily doing anything else drastic, just 100% raw. Next one up, you reduce whole food fats, nuts and seeds. That's intuitive to me. Anytime I'm kind of just wanting to, I don't know what I say. I don't want to say heal, because I've not really needed to heal, but sometimes I guess when I get that heavy feeling and I just feel like I need to lighten up and maybe do even just what I would say a mild cleanse, I reduce those fats. And those fats, when you reduce those fats, then the digestion's really flowing, because you don't have anything slowing that down right there, where you have a little bit. And the next one will be with that. On the next rung of the ladder, you're just eating raw fruit, greens, and tender vegetables. One step up from that, now we're getting up to where probably if somebody had some, the higher up we're getting, obviously towards the top of the pyramid, is more serious health issues. Next step up would be from raw fruit, greens, and tender vegetables. Next step up would be mono fruit and greens. A lot of healing in that mono fruit way of doing things. One level above that would be juice cleanse. So, see, I don't necessarily, I think sometimes I say, and I've mentioned this in videos, when people don't watch, haven't seen every video you've done, there's not necessarily context in one video. Now, when I'm always kind of being a little snarky and throwing the cleanses and the juice fast and the juice cleanses under the bus, you see where this is? Above mono fruit and greens is juice cleanse. That is 2 rungs from the top of the healing ladder. Now let me just make a point here, and this is just kind of common sense. There's no I've studied this and it's because of this or whatever. All these people coming into this lifestyle that are jumping in immediately, or in their, you know, they're constantly doing juice cleanses. You see how far that is up the healing ladder? And you're not, you know, that is for serious, more serious health issues. That's for a purpose. That's not just for dabbling around with. And I do see the value, even though I'll kind of poo-poo on the whole just juice fasting and water fasting, just for people dabbling. I do believe in this stuff as modes of healing, and for people that really have serious health issues. A step up from the juice cleanse is the water fast. When people are water fasting, that's absolutely all the energy is going, well, like most of the energy is going towards letting the body heal, and just there's nothing needed for digestion, so it's just a very healing place. And then the next step up from that, it would be dry fasting. Now, you're getting into some serious stuff there. If you even were at that level, if you had health issues that needed the water fasting and the dry fasting, that's stuff that's way over my head. That's something you would probably want supervision and to talk to somebody on. I'm just kind of giving you the philosophy of as you're moving up healing here. I've been told that the dry fasting, 1 day of dry fasting is equal to 3 days of water fasting. But once again, I could see these for me only for healing purposes. I have not, and knock on wood, I don't get sick. I've said that if I do get sick, maybe the next time I get sick, that I will just go to ground and do water. That's kind of what animals do anyway. I think animals don't tend to eat when they're, we can mimic nature. We really can mimic nature with a lot of, with so many things related to our health and healing, because that's pretty much what an animal will do when they're sick. They just kind of, they curl up and they, you know, they just let it work its way out of their system. But like I say, that's my opinion on things. And no, am I right? Would I fight? Would I debate you vigorously? No, this is all stuff, you know, that, you know, I'm learning along the way. This is stuff that, like I say, not having had to deal with healing and not having any proof of like, okay, well, I did this and I got this result. Yeah, no, a lot of it is speculation, but it's natural speculation, and it's natural kind of to me like, well, yeah, that just makes sense. You don't feel good with certain things, you certain progression there. So anyhow, hope maybe this video helped a little bit, give you an idea on that whole thing. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.